This is a way to keep G4 TV alive. And please be courteous and watch through the whole video. Thank you very much. And enjoy. Hi everybody, David Calderon here, and yep, Revenge of the Show is back. I know that it's been a while since the summer. It's been one heck of a summer, I can tell you that. But like during the end of August, you know about the AEW All In, the return of All In. That was one heck of a show for All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, All In. Yeah, as you know, All In was the start of All Elite Wrestling. It started in 2018, but it was a part of Ring of Honor. And even though Tony Khan could have used, he's the owner and president of All Elite Wrestling. Even though he couldn't use All In the previous years, but since he bought Ring of Honor Wrestling, he finally got to use it again, and he got to use it at. He decided to bring the pay-per-view All In to London in Wembley Stadium, which I gotta say was one hell of a pay-per-view. It was pretty awesome. What was even also awesome was also CM Punk coming. Well, we all know that CM Punk came back in June for the new AEW show Collision, which I still watch. I mean, it's not the end of the world for All Elite Wrestling, that's for sure. But after AEW All In, we all know what happened with CM Punk. He got into a backstage confrontation with the Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Since Jack Perry's infamous line, "Real glass, cry me a river," because CM Punk warned Jack Perry not to use real glass, as well as other people who warned Jack Perry not to use it. But he did anyway. So that comment was like the tip of the iceberg for CM Punk. Yeah, after what happened with Jack Perry's match after losing the FTW Championship, thank goodness, because he threatened to retire it. But I still think it's a good championship for All Elite Wrestling. But apart from that, Jack Perry got into CM Punk's face. Like, he said something that really ticked CM Punk off. In which I heard scenarios that after that, CM Punk put him in a chokehold, and Tony Khan, and I heard that he pushed Tony Khan into a part of monitors, and I heard he was about to go right at Tony Khan also, but Samoa Joe managed to break it up, especially with Jack Perry. Both of them were suspended, that we know of. I made comments for CM Punk not to get suspended until after All Out, but the worst was yet to come on Saturday, and that Saturday before AEW All Out. CM Punk was fired, which completely devastated everybody in Chicago, especially me. I mean, CM Punk is from Chicago, definitely, but now it's definitely going to be a long-ass time before he ever goes back to All Elite Wrestling. But apart from that, I mean, CM Punk had the best opening ever when it came to defending really defending his real AEW World Championship. Because like he said a few weeks, like about a month ago on Collision, that he never lost it. Like nobody took that away from him. He was still the champion after All Out in 2022. He even spray painted the X on it. That is legendary, Yeah, look, CM Punk might be gone, but it's not the end of the world for All Elite Wrestling. I'm still watching it. Who knows what might happen to All Elite Wrestling anyway. Well, there's been a bit of surprise that I'll get to right in a minute. Man, AEW is still worth watching than WWE. I mean, with Roman Reigns still being the undisputed champion and him winning all the time, it's starting to be a real snooze fest. I mean, 3 years. 3 years it's been for Roman Reigns. I know that it's been pretty awesome that he's been had the title for the longest, throughout almost a year, especially when it came to over 1,000 days and still being the champion. But it's been long enough. But I mean, as long as he has help when it comes to Solo Sikoa and as well as Paul Heyman, at least it's not with Usos anymore. The Bloodline has officially become less than more. The Usos are still wrestling, but they're not part of the Bloodline anymore. That's for sure. But now, apart from the Bloodline now being dispersed, with just Roman and Solo Sikoa, who are the two active wrestlers, apart from the manager Paul Heyman. I mean, there's also the other factions that in WWE, and that is. Well, first of all, I want to talk about Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I mean, with those three together, they're like the Hurt Business is back in business without MVP. Now with Bobby Lashley being like the manager for the Street Profits, it's like the Hurt Business is back in a different way. With Bobby Lashley's own style. And it's like the tag team, the Street Profits. I mean, they are a profit. I mean. When it comes to the Hurt Business, you gotta get a profit, especially with the Street Profits. Okay, but in Monday Night Raw, apart from Friday Night SmackDown having the Bloodline, there's also on Monday Night Raw when it comes to the Judgment Day. That used to be Edge's old team. He used to be the leader about a couple of years ago. Yeah, but now it's also with Mr. Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley, and the NXT North American Champion, Dominic Mysterio, the son of Rey Mysterio. But now Damian Priest and Finn Balor are now the undisputed tag team champions. Because you know how like Raw and SmackDown have their own titles, since they named it like Raw Tag Team and SmackDown Tag Team, that was just completely boring. Especially when it comes to the title belt designs. I mean, before they had those silver ones, I mean they had a regular WWE. Well, I mean they had 2 regular WWE championships, right here below. Yeah, the first one on top. Yeah, the first one right there is regular WWE championships. Well, WWE Tag Team Championships, and the one on the bottom are the World Tag Team Championships. But they got replaced with this one set of tag team titles, which had a black leather strap belt, and with the plates in the front, plates being all copper-like, like the penny color like bronze. But then they replaced it with silver. With a red leather strap belt for Monday Night Raw and a blue leather strap belt for Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah, that was just completely tacky at all. Yeah, but I heard that there might be a couple of new belts coming soon, so probably it'll be a brand different set of tag team titles for one for Monday Night Raw and one for Friday Night SmackDown. Because you guys know that WWE had changed the scenario of the World Championships, because the 2 belts that Roman Reigns had, it got replaced with a new one, which I call the Undisputed Championship, and it looks a little more better improvement than the other 2, especially for the Universal one. Looks pretty good, especially when they brought back the World Heavyweight Championship and it was moved to Monday Night Raw, because the draft. Then they came with the Women's World Championship. I mean, for Friday Night SmackDown, there was the WWE Women's Championship, what they regularly called it now. It looks a bit similar to to the Undisputed Championship for the men, but it still looks gonna have. But it has a white leather strap. And for Monday Night Raw, they have the Women's World Championship, which of course is like a women's version of the World Heavyweight Championship, but for the women, and it has a white leather strap. So it looks pretty good though. Okay, but yeah, that's the next thing I want to talk about now. Well, now the next thing I want to talk about is the merger with the WWE and the UFC. Yeah, like Endeavor. I mean, Endeavor is part of UFC. You know, the United Fighting Championship. It's kind of surprising that I had no idea what happened, but it did a few days ago. And I heard that Vince McMahon is a part of it, but he's not the chairman anymore. It's not like the leadership or anything. But man, UFC and Endeavor. Well, I mean WWE and UFC together with a merger, and that's the other thing. Like because of that merger, they now turn the company into TKO. Like it's supposed to represent both WWE and UFC. They even have like a novelty title for that one. I don't know if it's going to happen. That's what I'm saying. Apart from maybe having new tag team championships, there might be like a new singles championship. Well, hopefully they'll bring back the WWE European Championship. Like it should not just be for WWE. It should be really like a defendant in both Raw and SmackDown and in NXT and for NXT Europe. Hey, they gotta bring the European Championship back. And there should be something like a women's international title. Yeah, that could work. Or like a new, different kind of hardcore championship. Like, like the wrestler Butch, who was previously Pete Dunne in NXT. I mean, I still see him as a bruiserweight. They should at least do that. The Bruiserweight Championship. Falls count anywhere. Or when it comes to Logan Paul, it should be like a title that should be contested. Like, the Heritage Cup, 2 out of 3 best falls, and it's being judged, with a time limit for 3 rounds, the WWE Prime Championship. That'd be something. The WWE Prime Championship. Okay, when it comes to... Alright, now back on the scenario with all the wrestling and CM Punk. I mean, it's like I said, it's not the end of the world for all Elite Wrestling. I mean, they'll have some more talent later on this year and probably in 2024. Not to mention the new pay-per-view Wrestle Dream for AEW is going to happen. So who knows what might happen? Well, I do know one thing. Well, not the Wrestle Dream, but tomorrow for AEW Grand Slam on TBS, Samoa Joe versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. That's going to be awesome, as long as Adam Cole doesn't get involved in it. Or Roderick Strong. So far, Samoa Joe is the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Well, he has the Ring of Honor Television Championship. But yeah, it would be pretty awesome to see Samoa Joe be the AEW World Champion. But still, but like I said, CM Punk may be fired from All Elite Wrestling, but but no matter what anybody else says, no matter what they think, CM Punk is still the real AEW World Championship. He defended his world title All In, and he left that All In with his title, with the real AEW World Championship. It might take another 2 or 3 years for him to come back, or for him to have a chance at AEW, but I'll wait. I will definitely wait. Who knows what? It has been one heck of a, it has been one heck of a year for WWE, especially what happened like about a few weeks ago. Apart from Terry Funk, who died of natural causes, there was also Bray Wyatt, who died of a heart attack due to complications of having COVID. I mean, Terry Funk, he lived a good life, and he was one of the best hardcore wrestlers ever, apart from Mick Foley. And those two fought each other and fought together. Especially with that 2006 One Night Stand match. But with Bray Wyatt, it was just completely devastating. Way more devastating than what happened with the firing of CM Punk. But with Bray Wyatt's death, it was another. Man, everyone saw him. I know that he has like a dark persona when it came to like being like a cult leader in WWE. But having like him making some of himself, like having the Wyatt family, being the Fiend, especially with wrestling Braun Strowman, which the two have been a part of, and Strowman was a part of the Wyatt family. Even one episode of Friday Night SmackDown, before they even started with their matches, they held a small tribute for Bray Wyatt. And they also did like the 10 bell tribute, with the 10 rings of the bell. But when I heard about Bray Wyatt's death, it was completely devastating. All the fans were devastated. The people who were the fans, the people he worked with, even Triple H was devastated. Like most of the time, I would just go on X, which was formerly Twitter, but people can't forget about that. Yeah, and that's when I heard about Bray Wyatt. And people were I was completely devastated. I was surprised and upset. And Bray Wyatt still had potential. Not that he was still going to be ready to wrestle again. But with that, he left a legacy. Especially with his late friend Brody Lee, who also died a few years ago. Like he was part of the Wyatt family until he moved on and went over to All Elite Wrestling, and he was the leader of the Dark Order. That's why I found out his name, Brody Lee. But even he died of health problems then. Like he died of like a chest problems. But now those two are together. People have been saying, according to X. But man, with celebrity deaths like that, that's completely devastating. But still, we all have to move on. Hopefully they might release details about Uncle Howdy. That's the other gimmick that Bray Wyatt was doing when he made a comeback. A few months ago. Like he was also dealing with issue with it was soon to be arch rival Uncle Howdy, which was revealed to be his brother Bo Dallas, which I did not know they were brothers. That was surprising, real surprising. Hopefully WWE will do the decent thing and let that continue with the legacy of Wyatt still has to go on. And I know. Okay, so let me get started and do the scenario about doing the feed. Now here's a surprising intake. On a few weeks ago on X, there was a tweet that was trending that said R.I.P. Joss Peck. And for those of you who know, Joss Peck was a child celebrity. You know, he was famous for being on the Amanda Show and then on Drake and Josh, opposite with Drake Bell. I mean, most people were shocked to hear about the trending words R.I.P. Joss Peck, especially me. There was even a photo of a tribute photo of him, but it turns out it wasn't exactly Joss Peck, the celebrity himself. Thank goodness. Turns out it was another person named Joss Peck. But man, that wasn't. Sometimes when you hear stuff like that, it almost sounds like fake news, but it definitely wasn't. Well, almost wasn't. I mean, there was a guy that was named Joss Peck, but you gotta give us more detail than just the name itself, or else you're gonna get confused about who it really is. When it comes to the issue with the strike, the writer's strike, the Hollywood strike, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson I heard that he lost business with Universal Studios. Well, when it comes to his contract in his publishing studio, which were responsible for the TV series Young Rock, which got canceled after 3 seasons on NBC. Man. But yeah, Universal Studios is canceling his contract with his production company. I forgot the name of it, but hopefully it won't hold him off on doing the sequel for Fast X. But I really want to see The Rock back in. But it wasn't all bad news for the writer's strike with The Rock. After that, last Friday he made an appearance on Friday Night SmackDown, which was completely surprising for all the fans there. Just as for me. I mean, he told out Grayson Waller. You know, it was the people's show, and he is the people's champ still. Most people are wondering whether it's going to be that at WrestleMania 40, whether he will wrestle Roman Reigns for the title, or will it be Roman against Cody Rhodes again? I just want Roman to lose that title, or at least Damian Priest to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Roman if he had the upper advantage. That needs to happen. But it was surprising seeing The Rock again, apart from John Cena. But apart from all that with WWE, Mortal Kombat 1 has been released about a week ago, and it's actually one of the most insane games ever. Yeah, it's a remake. Mortal Kombat 1 is a remake of the classic original game, and I grew up with that one. And speaking more about video games, there has been leaks about the GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6. Apparently, there's been rumors that there's going to be 2 characters involved, apart from one male. There's also going to be a female character, which was the first ever in the series. You know, the graphics are amazing from what I saw the photos, and I heard it's definitely going to be in Vice City. And I think with that, it was about time. Because with Grand Theft Auto 4, it was set in Liberty City. Grand Theft Auto 5 was set in San Andreas. So yeah, I guess that does make sense. And that's not the only leak that's been happening. There's also been rumors about the new Nintendo Switch, but people are calling the Nintendo Switch 2. Because they mostly would have one every 6 or 7 years. Like 5 or 6 years for a new Nintendo console. And apparently, I think people are saying that it's been about time they start doing it. Or for Nintendo, anyway. Okay, yeah, like with the Nintendo Switch 2, I mean, it is a bit different than... It might be more different than the Nintendo Switch regular itself, but who knows? Although I can't wait to see it later, probably next year or 2025. But when it happens, I'll make a clear note of it. As for video games, Mortal Kombat 1 has been released about a week ago, and it is just epic. Enhanced features of the characters, even a couple of characters from Mortal Kombat Revelations. Now that is something, especially with the fatalities themselves. Mortal Kombat 1 is like a way better reboot. And then look what will happen with Mortal Kombat 2 if they do it. But one more important thing, when it comes to doing online challenges or viral challenges, like the one chip challenge from Paki, the tortilla chip company, one of the chip companies, the world famous one chip challenge, that's the brand itself. The ones that have the coffin shaped box with a skull that has a fiery mouth. It has been discontinued. About a week or two ago, a teenager ended up being hospitalized after consuming the one chip challenge for this year. It was different. It had a green skull on it. Yeah, it was supposed to be way more hot and fiery. Had a different kind of pepper apart from the Carolina Reaper. But because of the kid being hospitalized, he also died about an hour ago, about an hour while being in the emergency room. And the family the family is just upset about it. But Paki did leave warnings that it's not for. Did leave warnings that please do not eat unless you have conditions, or it's not intended for people with heart conditions or with other medical issues. That's kind of the yeah. So yeah, they did leave warnings, but it's for adult consumption, not for teenagers or young kids. I've seen videos of people doing this, and last year some people ended up with, and last year with the last year's trip, some people ended up with more serious conditions. Like one person ended up with a nosebleed. Somebody had to call 911 for one guy. That's how dangerous it was last year, but this year it was definitely dangerous. Even when the teenager was rushed to the nurse's office, like he showed the doctor what he consumed. They had to call the parents, but soon after being passed out at home, he was sent to the emergency room, where he died an hour later on. Paki did not show any response until they decided to discontinue the chip for this year. They even took down the website and the info about the one chip challenge itself. I would say with the one chip challenge, it's officially come to an end. Like I tried it like a few years ago. The first time I did it in 2020. That's my first time ever doing it. And the second one I also did in 2021. That was the last time I ever done that. But yeah, let me tell you, that thing is not for everybody, and that is a big fire. That the one chip challenge is dangerous, and it really is hot, and it gets hotter every year. But this year, I think it's officially come to a close. It started in 2016, from that I know of, and even celebrities tried it like Shaq, especially Tony Hawk. But now I think the one chip challenge might reach a closing. Uh, my condolences go for the teenager who did it, especially for his family who are still grieving the loss. But there is a one response from Paki, from if anybody had purchased the one chip challenge, can be able to probably send it back and get a $10 refund from Paki itself, because that chip is not cheap. I know that. So anyway, that's it for Revenge of the Show today. And from here's what I heard from CM Punk. Some people showed a video of CM Punk saying like, "Just give me 2 months, I'll be coming back." Well, that means he'll be coming back to WWE. Who knows? But the Royal Rumble is around the corner. Some people are saying that he might make a comeback, but who knows? But like I said, it's not the end of the world for all of the wrestling. I'm definitely going to watch what happens tomorrow. Hopefully Samoa Joe might have a chance. Anyway, thanks for watching Revenge of the Show. Sorry about the late comeback. Oh yeah, just remember that. Click on the link below, and thanks for watching today. See ya.